Cigarettes. Fights, please.
There, is that enough room for you and me? Here.
The front one's
How's that?
I tumbled him. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Do you want her to sign that one, please?
Did you have everybody sign that?
Look in the pen and go around and ask everybody if they signed it.
Did you sign the book yet, Rick?
Have you signed the book?
I need a couple of witnesses.
If you don't have to.
I probably actually don't.
Arlene.
Come on, you two.
Yes.
When Eileen asked me to do this, she said there'd just be a couple of people here.
Okay, I'll try to get out of your
When
way.
she started counting her friends, she realized she had a lot of friends, and I'm sure that all of you are thrilled to have been asked to be here tonight. She asked me if I would say a few words, and I'll say just a few words. First of all, I'd like to congratulate her on good planning to get married on Valentine's Day. I'm sure that's going to make it a lot easier for Roger to remember the anniversary. If he's a typical man, that's a little bit difficult to do, and so this will make it a little more easy. As a bishop, have the opportunity to counsel the young people in private in my office. And these are not exactly a couple of rookies here, but I'm going to say a few words to them anyway. One of the things I tell young people is that the decision as to who you marry is really the most important decision you make in your whole life. And I suspect this decision has been made very carefully and very thoughtfully. And I congratulate Roger and Eileen on making this decision. And I'm sure that this will be a wonderful marriage and one that will be enjoyed by them and by the families. Marriage is a challenge. I'm sure all of you know that. And as I thought about that and about the relationship that has to go on in a marriage, one of my very favorite stories about the kind of relationship people ought to have with those they live with is actually a story of two missionaries, but I think it illustrates the point very nicely. A friend of mine, actually was sort of an older, 4 or 5 years older than I, and a young man I admired a lot, told this story after he came home from his mission. He said he was transferred to a town, and when he arrived there it was very late in the afternoon, and his missionary companion said, "Why don't you go ahead and put your stuff away and I'll make dinner." And he said, we sat down and were eating dinner, and he was, I don't know what they were eating, but he was eating with a fork, which seemed the appropriate tool, and he noticed his companion was eating with a spoon. And he didn't say anything, he just make much of it. But the next morning when they got up and it was his companion's turn to cook breakfast again, they had pancakes, and his companion once again was eating the pancakes with a spoon, and he was eating with a fork. Well, as it turned out, they only had one fork. They had 2 knives and 2 spoons, but only 1 fork. And he said it became a tradition with them that whoever cooked the meal and set the table would give the other companion the fork. They said, we were together 4 months, this was some years ago, we could have gone out and bought another fork for 25 cents, but it became such a nice tradition of putting the other person first that they never did that. They always gave the other person the fork when they set the table. And so I think that kind of thoughtfulness is something that is very important when you live together and have as personal a relationship as you do in marriage. One of my favorite lines from the Broadway musicals is from Music Man, and it's when Marian the librarian is singing about the kind of a man that she wants to come and take her away, and she calls him My White Knight, and then goes on to describe him in terms that are really not exactly like we would think of a white knight. But what she says that I think is very important and very meaningful in a situation like this is the following. She says, "I wish that he would be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me." I think that's a lovely thought. Again, saying that as you marry someone, as you get into this kind of a close personal relationship, putting the other person first and putting you as a couple ahead of you personally is extremely important. And I would hope that in your vocabularies that me and mine would be a thing of the past, and now that it would be us and ours. Now let me just say one other thing. You both work, you both are under pressure, you both when you come home at night are going to be tired and having put in a full day and so forth, and I think there's nothing better than hydrotherapy. I think getting into some warm swirling water is really wonderful, and so Roger, I would suggest that every night when you come home you plan on doing the dishes.
More her buying hot dogs.
That's what I thought. Okay, why don't you? Now, do you want to stand so they can see you? No. Stand back to the
Well, the camera's over there.
stand this way.
Is it just us, or do we all come up here?
We need the witnesses up by yourselves.
Okay, Warner? Lisa?
No.
Well, she's too young to be a witness.
Stand like this.
Okay, Warner's wife. Karen?
You can witness it too, but they have sons.
Yeah, that's why you know.
Okay, if anybody hasn't met Roger, this is a good time.
Jean and Barbara and Kay and Pat.
Start all this.
Jan and Bill and Kay.
There'll be a test tomorrow.
Okay. Would you please take each other by the right hand? Don't need to make it look like you're shaking here. Okay, Roger A. Birch, do you take Eileen K. Granger by the right hand in token of the covenant that you now enter into to become her companion and husband, to love, honor, and cherish her so long as you both shall live? And do you hereby promise to observe all the laws, covenants, and obligations pertaining to the holy state of matrimony, and this you do in the presence of God and these witnesses? Eileen K. Granger, do you take Roger A. Birch by the right hand in token of the covenant that you now enter into to become his companion and wife, to love, honor, and cherish him so long as you both shall live, and this you do in the presence of God and these witnesses? By virtue of the legal authority vested in me as an elder in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I pronounce you Roger A. Birch and you Eileen K. Granger husband and wife, legally and lawfully wedded for the period of your mortal lives. May God bless your union with joy in your posterity and a long life of happiness together. And may He enable you to keep sacred the covenants that you now have made. These blessings I invoke upon you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. You may now kiss each other's hand. Okay, now exchange rings. I heard on Wednesday there was some debate as to whether or not the rings were ready.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
He was just kidding.
I know, but I called Zales and he goes, uh-oh, I left the cat on the bag. I knew.
I had to take it down to the pawn shop and have it appraised first. Those things get tight.
Thank you.
Before
Oh,
you-
couldn't think of anybody else.
Congratulations.
Yes, it is. He said you're getting she goes, yes, he is. We're married.
Well, you did it.
Is he gonna cry? No.
I am. You guys can call him Dad now.
Record over something that's already been.
That's what I would say. Just if I say, no, it's true. You guys are be playing on choke.
Does it do focus automatic?
Okay, and these two buttons up here, this first one makes it go in closer and the other one makes it come back.
The one on top?
Uh-huh. Push it. Can you see it going in?
Oh yeah. And the other one, where's the other one? Oh,
And it brings it back.
I see. Oh yeah.
And that's
So it focuses.
it focuses automatically.
Oh here, I'll let you do it.
Couldn't let you just get married by yourself. Well, of course not. Of course not.
But I'm not.
No? Are you sure?
Really, look at that. You about the same time.
No, she's 4 weeks. Sure, it's more, and that's it.
Really? 4 weeks left. Yeah. Oh, we'll see. Oh, I got a long way to go. You look so nice.
She's only got 1 million miles.
Were you coming through?
Yeah, I think we'll come through this
Yeah.
No, turn around a big circle and we'll
Yeah, turn
dance.
these around.
And after all this, we'll dance. You'll sing a tune.
You gotta get these close together.
That'll be good, okay? That's your yes. That'll do.
Yeah, 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, just a minute and you can.
Anything you want to do.
Drink out of the art floor. Or drink champagne out of it. Next to the window. She went in the bathroom. I mean, I can see this on
It's up here.
It's right
Took it off my hand or two?
Well, don't show everybody everything.
Think I didn't get your pants.
About reached him.
You're supposed to flip it and let Kurt catch it.
Yeah, so he can
Like throwing
get
the
married
flowers.
next.
It's a headband. You're next in line, Roy.
Have to do it again.
I feel like Little Abner's wife.
That was a good practice.
Lisa, that was a practice?
That was the practice.
Okay, I'll walk over here. That's enough. Cut that thing.
We didn't tell you this was going to be a sane wedding.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that's what we made sure we came.
But you want some desserts?
No.
Get away.
I'm going to slap.
I will find that again someday.
He's heavy.
But we two of them.
This is part of the lounge thing. I want to see if my, picture taking is quite what. That means you're going in.